Okay, well, after reading A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, it was a very poetic book. It was really poetic, actually, like poetic justice, you can say. And I actually have recorded this video 1,001 times because every time I get through it, I seem like I miss some of the key factors, the key qualities that made this book absolutely amazing. So this time I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to write down my notes and we're going to get it done. Poetic. Long Way Down was a very poetic book. And it was a story about a boy named Will, whose brother Sean was murdered. He was murdered. It was gun violence. And if I'm going to be an educator, I would probably teach about gun violence. Like I would have them do a project like, hey, um, do a project on people, teenagers who were killed by gun violence because that is a big deal in today's world. Like it seems like everybody is dying. Bullets have no name and people are taking them left to right and it's absolutely scary, especially being a mother because you don't want that for your children. You don't want that for anybody's children. I This book was broken down into three parts. No crying, no snitching, and revenge no matter what. And Will, he felt like he was obligated to kill, murder his brother's killer. It was like a code, a street code. And I grew up in a day and time where you don't snitch. You don't. You just don't snitch. But I'm also getting older and a lot more wiser. And I know that if it saves a life, if it solves a case, and it does not affect you, you do what's right. I mean, no matter what. So, as an educator, I would stress that because this was a great book. It was a great book. It was. It's very powerful. Though. I suggest everybody read it because it's just like okay, and it looks like a really thick book. I mean, it looks like that, but it's actually a really quick read. And I normally have a hard time reading, but this book was really quick. It was like okay, well, it didn't. You wanted to keep reading because you knew something was about to happen. Every floor, he got to something was about to happen. Will started off on the seventh floor in the elevator, and every floor he got to, every floor, I mean, 7, 6, every floor he got to, someone from the past, someone connected to Will's brother Sean, entered the elevator. But the crazy part about it was the people that was connected to Sean were already dead, and they had something to tell Will. So the next question is, okay, by the time he got to the lobby, what did Will decide to do? This was a very great book. I also pointed out, like in my notes, I noticed that okay, let's talk about the three parts. So the revenge part, I absolutely disagree with because I don't believe you supposed to get even. That makes sense. Like, okay, someone do you wrong, do you do them wrong? That's actually a good lesson to teach in class. So, if someone do you wrong, do you do them wrong? That's a serious question. I feel like gun violence is very common amongst younger African Americans, so to speak. But, I mean, I feel like it's other ways to handle situations. And I understand that he was raised by a code. And when you're raised by a code, you live by a code, you die by a code. But it's just like, is it really worth it? Like, when do you say, okay, I want more for myself. I want to do better. I want to live long. And like, Will has an option. He has a choice to make. So will he make the right choice? I think the ending was the best part to me. I really enjoyed the ending. And this book, everybody should read it. I really think everybody should read it. I mean, wow. That's all I can say. is probably, out of all the books I read this semester, this had to be one of the best ones. I was really happy to see the movie The Hate You Give, but the books will always be better than the movies. I don't want to miss any points because, like I said, I did this video probably 3 or 4 times. And I was like, nope, that's not it. Gotta redo it because it's really it's a lot of things you can take from this book. It's a lot of things you can learn from this book, and I think everybody should read it. I really do. Oh yeah. Also, let's point out on the no crying part one. Okay, no crying. Now, don't get me wrong, but this book, it holds so many emotions. So when you think of the no crying, snitching, revenge, you automatically like, okay, well, first and foremost, I'm gonna be emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, something just happened to someone I loved. I have to cry about it, but everyone just put their emotions in their back pockets when they living by a code. But I believe shedding tears is good for the soul. I believe that, I don't know, you don't snitch, but if it saves a life, you do what you have to do. I seen on the news where they have an award out for somebody about missing cars down where I'm from, and it's like, okay, so if I knew, what I tell, but who knows? Who knows? Well, I don't know what else to say. I really enjoyed the poems, though. I've never actually read a book that was full of poems. Like, from beginning to end, it was some poetic wording in this book, and I mean, it's catchy. It's a catchy book. It's dark. It's like, oh my God, is this gonna be scary? Is it gonna be creepy? Is it gonna be like, this book was absolutely wow. Short pages, real short. I recommend this book to everybody, to every single body. So, to my classroom, if I was teaching this book, I would tell them to do a project on gun violence. Who do you know, or tell me a story about a young person that was killed due to gun violence. Because I know it's a lot. We can talk about a lot of people that was killed to gun violence. It's absolutely sad. It is. Man. But, hey, if you ever have time to read this book, go get it and read it. Thank you all.